What's up guys, this is iEddy. Welcome to a new video. Electricity DPS, let's go. Alright, here we are. First we're gonna look at the ranged AoE DPS, and like always we're gonna look at the stats. So this is a might based loadout. So my might is 182,704, my CR is 394, almost maxed out, only few pieces missing. So looking at the gear mods, I'm using rifle, so blast adapter 5 for weapon, supercharged circuit breaker 3 for head socket, escalating might for neck, berserker for back, penetrating strikes for chest, legs doesn't matter, maximum damage for hands, and tumbling master, explosive block, deadly block, whatever you can use, it's up to you. Feet doesn't matter either. So looking at the artifacts, we are going to be using these three artifacts mainly for range AoE, for single target, for melee. If you want to, it's up to you. So first one is going to be transformation card. Transformation card, make sure it's ranked at 200, make sure it's maxed out, because you get the most out of it at rank 200. So it's going to give you 3% might basically, and it's going to give you 20% critical chance and 30% critical magnitude. So make sure you have this. And then the second one is going to be strategist card. Strategist card basically applies a damage over time for 8 seconds, and if you have it at rank 200, it's going to give you the increase in proc chance of tactical advantage, which is the basically damage over time, and also increase the potency of tactical advantage by 30%. So you're gonna do more damage, and it gives you 4% might. So when combined with transformation card, it does great damage. So make sure you have these two really good artifacts for any kind of power. Number 3, we're gonna use Quizlet. And Quizlet is basically your pet, which will fight by your side. Mine is at 160, but if you can get it up to rank 200, it's gonna be awesome. Right now it's giving me 3% might, but it's gonna give you 4% might when it's at rank 200. And basically, whenever you will use a superpower, any power from your loadout, the Quizlet will do a powerful attack that will hit up to 8 targets, and every 5 seconds basically. And also when you use a supercharge, which costs like 5,000 in our case, it will do a medium damage to your primary target, and it will up to additional 7 target. And if you're using 10,000 supercharge, it will do high damage, but that's like rarely the case. Nobody uses 10,000 supercharge. And so also if you have if you have Quizlet at rank 200, Mega Blast will grant 1% supercharge every time you use a super power. Every time a Quizlet will do a powerful attack, it will give you 1% supercharge back. So that's it. But the most important artifact we're gonna use is EOG, Eye of Gemini. So Eye of Gemini works great with electricity because of the supercharged circuit breaker. So circuit breaker has only 15 seconds cooldown, so you can pop it again and again. So every time you pop a supercharge, it's gonna, and if you have Eye of Gemini instead of Quizlet, it's gonna give you basically an orange circle underneath you. And whoever is standing inside that circle, you will get 20% of the damage, dealt by those players, standing inside that orange circle, which is called Pollux's Gaze. So you will get that. You also get 4% might, and whenever you pop Pollux's Gaze, basically whenever you pop that orange circle, it will grant you 5% might, 5% precision, and vitalization. So basically you can pop it EOG every 15 seconds with electricity, but it all depends on how much supercharge you have. So if you're running with an EOG healer, you will get supercharged really fast, so you do that. So what I like to do is I usually run Quizlet, and whenever I'm gonna use a supercharge, I will quickly swap it with Eye of Gemini, pop my supercharge, get that orange circle, and then pop Quizlet back in the socket again, which will just do additional damage while I'm using the supercharge. So this is the setup for the augments. We are gonna be using Mighty augments. So this is from the last DLC, the Sins of Black Adam. So right now maxed out. And for the original augments, we're gonna use might as well. So make sure you have these. And for allies, we are gonna use, because it's AoE, so you can use Zoom, you can use Death Metal Batman, or you can use Batman. It's up to you. Aquaman does good damage, AoE damage. So it's up to you what you want to use for AoE, but I prefer these three. For the second passive, Batman Who Laughs is really important, because we are using this, let's click on this. So Luck of the Draw. Luck of the Draw basically draws a random card, and it if it gives you Batman card, if it gives you Enigma card, Frigga card, Gaia card. So if it gives you Batman card, you get 5% might. If it gives you Enigma card, you get plus 35 power. If it gives you Frigga card, you get 7.5% critical chance, and Gaia's card you get Gaia's or Gaia whatever plus 10% health. So whenever Batman or Frigga card pops, you're gonna do additional damage. And the third one I'm using right now is Batman, because whenever I reach 100 combo counter, it gives me 9% might and 4.5% precision for first 6 damage hits only. It's not ideal. You can use Aquaman instead of this one, instead of Batman, and there's this new ally coming up really soon, Shazam. So you can use Shazam. It will also give you additional stats. So use whatever you want as third passive, but these are the best options. So now looking at the skill points allocation, as I told you, I'm using rifle because of the rifle grenade, because that's an AoE attack. So I pop my rifle grenade in between popping my powers. So we're just gonna put one in rifle. Under super speed, flight, or acrobat, you're gonna get the first one, and then you're gonna go this. If you have extra skill points, you can get these 5. Okay, this is gonna give you additional 10% encase and root resistance and 10% impulse resistance, and these 3 are gonna get you some power back, so you will never be low on power. Under iconic powers, don't get anything. You don't need these 3. These 3 we usually use with other power sets, but with electricity you don't even need these. So under stat points, we're gonna go for superpowered. Superpowered will basically automatically regenerate your power and will give you 10% extra might, 10% power. So go for superpowered. Then you're gonna go for critical attack chance and critical attack damage. Put everything in here, and then put everything in might and power. So max this out, and then if you have extra skill points, go for precision. So because we're gonna be using rifle grenade in between, so make sure you go for precision and max out your stats. Now let's go and look at the loadout. So here we are. This is the first loadout. The loadout is very simple, really easy to do, and this loadout works great in elite raids and anything with large amount of health. So if you have like 2 bosses at the same room, like let's say you are running TSD, you're in the first boss and there are like 4 bosses together, they have large health pool. So this loadout is gonna do great for that. For elite ads, it works great, but for regular raids, it's not gonna be that quick, but it works. I'll tell you another alternate loadout in a second. So let's look at this one. The first one is Arc Lightning. Arc Lightning will basically electrify your enemies. It will do a burst damage which will jump from one target to another. So use this to electrify your enemies. Number 2 is Electrocute. Electrocute is like a storm, electrical storm, and electrified enemies will take additional damage. It lasts for 12 seconds and it's basically a damage over time. So it will keep on doing damage for 12 seconds. Number 3 is Electrogenesis, same as Electrocute basically. 12 seconds, damage over time, but it jumps from one target to another, so make sure you're not too far away from your target. Somewhere between full range and mid range, it works great. Number 4 is Voltec Bolt. Voltec Bolt is also damage over time. It also does around 13 to 14 ticks, but its cooldown is only 3 seconds. So 3 damage over time powers, 1 burst power, and then another burst power, which is Voltec Blast. Voltec Blast cooldown is only 3 seconds, so it's a great burst damage. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're gonna do 1, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's very simple, loadout. Number 6 is Circuit Breaker. This is the supercharge I was talking about. Cooldown only 15 seconds. Supercharge causes 5000. It basically increases your damage output for a short period of time. So whatever damage you're doing from this or your weapon attacks, you're gonna do additional damage when you have supercharge active. So electricity without solar amplifier or any iconic powers, basically, you really need to depend on Circuit Breaker. So to maximize damage from Circuit Breaker, you're gonna use Eye of Gemini. You can also use Scrap instead of Strategist card. So Scrap of the Lost Souls, I think that's the name. I always forget the full name, but use the Scrap. Let me actually check it. Here we go. So Scrap of the Soul Clock. Basically, it will increase your maximum supercharge and supercharge generation by 27% and reduces your supercharge ability cools down by 22.5%. So if you're using this instead of Strat and you're using Eye of Gemini, you can actually pop this quicker. So 15 seconds might come down to like 12-second cooldown, and you'll be generating it faster. So instead of popping 2 supercharge in your rotation, you will be popping 3 supercharges. So this is the loadout. Now let's go to sparring target and see the numbers. Alright, so there you have it. We started with 159 but went up to 200, then 216, then 225, then 212, and then dropped to 185 and then 222. So it goes up and down because you're setting up damage over time, but when you have that set, it's gonna go up. So 225 is not that bad, and you will be popping supercharge, because I told you electricity is all about circuit breaker. So you need to pop your supercharges again and again, and it will easily hit 300,000 per second and maybe above 350 sometimes. So this is the loadout. Now let's quickly go and take a look at the other loadout which I was talking about. Alright, so this is the melee mid-range loadout. Basically, it is way quicker, works really great in regular raids but not so well in elite raids. So I prefer the first loadout for elite raids and this one for regular raids. Everything is same, the mods, augs, allies, augments, everything is same. The skill points allocation is same. So let's just jump into loadout. The loadout, the first 3 are same as before: arc lightning, electrocute, and electrogenesis. 2 damage over time, and arc lightning, basically burst. So number 4 is Tesla Ball. Tesla Ball is also 6 seconds cooldown. It will do damage over time but only for 6 seconds. If the enemies are electrified from arc lightning, you're gonna do additional damage. Really cool power. Number 5 is Spark Barrage. Spark Barrage has cooldown of only 0.5 seconds. It's a really great burst, 360 degrees damage. So if you're standing right in center and right next to the ads and you pop this, it's gonna hit every target around you, every ad around you. So really good for melee and mid-range. So use this when you are in regular raid, and let's go and see the numbers. Alright, so here are the numbers. This is what I was talking about: 185, 190, and then 243k, 191, 204, and then again 240k. So this is really quick damage. You just set up the basically damage over time while running towards the ad, and then just pop Spark Barrage again and again until everything else is out of cooldown, and you are good to go. So really awesome damage. Test it out, you will definitely like it. Now let's move on to single target. Alright, so here we are with the single target. As you can see, everything else is still the same. I'm still using the same artifacts, allies, augments, everything is same. Skill points allocation is also same, so just gonna quickly go and jump into the loadout. So here's the loadout. So as you know, I told you we're not gonna be using solar amplifier or heat vision or any iconic powers. So this is straight up electricity, and I'm telling you it works. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pop electrocute, which is your damage over time, 12 seconds, electrogenesis, damage over time, 12 seconds. Number 3, voltaic bolt, again damage over time, only 3 seconds, but it lasts same as them. And then you're gonna do ionic drain. Ionic drain is a finisher, great damage for single target, and if your target's health is below 35%, it will do additional damage. So make sure you just keep on spamming it whenever it's out of cooldown. It's your main single target damage. Number 5 is Tesla Blast. It's only 0.02 second cooldown, only 100 power cost, but does great damage for single target. Like it goes to 100k, 120k, and then when you're buffed, it goes to 250k, and when you have supercharge on, it goes to 350, 400k with Tesla Blast. So do not miss out on this power. So basically what you're doing is you're popping 1, 2, 3 and do 4, pop Tesla Blast again and again and again until Ionic Drain is out of cooldown. Go with Ionic Drain and then pop Tesla Blast again, and you will have these out of cooldown by then, and then you go, repeat the rotation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the rotation. Let's go and check the numbers on Sparring Target. Alright, so there you have it. First one was only 65k because we only got 24.5% crit thanks to, DCUO gods and their RNG. So then 102k, 108k, 104k. So it's decent and it's not that bad. But I'm telling you, electricity depends on circuit breaker, so you have to make sure you pop circuit breaker again and again and again. Use EOG as much as possible. And then it also depends on, it's just RNG basically. So you don't know when you're gonna get criticals, you don't know when you're gonna get, a lot of damage. So as you can see on the screen right now, with the same loadout, no buffs, nothing, no supercharge, I managed to get 147k out of it. So this is the same loadout. Just make sure to maximize your damage whenever you're in your raids. You are, buffed. Use nitro sodas, compound omegas, and run EOG whenever possible. Swap it if you can. If you don't want to swap it, keep EOG on all the time. If you don't want to do that, you're gonna be missing out on extra supercharge, but you can still run Quizlet, so you'll be still getting extra damage. So that's fine too. But if you wanna, take it one step further, use transformation card, scrap, and EOG, and just fire it away. So keep on swapping EOG with Quizlet, and you're good to go. And always use henchman, your trinkets, your orbitals, and your supply draw for additional damage, and buff yourself up whenever possible, and you're gonna do good. So as promised, no solar amplifier, no iconic powers, no movement mode powers. Electricity DPS loadout has been delivered. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please comment down below. If you have any questions, you can comment down below as well. Just ask it away and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this, and I will see you guys next time.